On this episode, we discuss the latest addition to Sofi O's discography, a track titled Metal Dress. This is All Gas, No Trash. My name's Adam, and welcome back to a brand new episode. Before we get underway, we do have to do the Game Rage No Curse Minute, where we kill the first 60 seconds of the program in order to play nice with the YouTube algorithm, with no cursing and no swearing whatsoever. And first, I'd like to give a quick thanks to everybody that has been listening via Spotify, RSS, Apple Podcasts. We appreciate it, and especially those on YouTube that have been subscribing and viewing our videos. We sincerely appreciate it. Please continue to do that. Like, comment, and subscribe. Lastly, I'd like to add that we'll be doing Fifi Zhang and Boy Soda's debut album reviews next week, so be on the lookout for that, and that'll be the Game Rage No Curse Minute. So let's get to discussing Sofi O and current events surrounding her. One of the things that I found out recently on YouTube was that there was this vignette done about her for something called Anti-Social Camp, which appears to be some kind of songwriting camp or summit where people apply, and once they're accepted, they get to attend this event in New York. However, beyond this vignette, there was no additional information shared on her part, whether she worked on like new music or anything like that. So it was kind of unfortunate to see that there wasn't any additional stuff on Sofi O's part to share out of this whole experience. But that's just the way things go. Secondly, Sofi O has been teasing 2 new songs, and one of them was Metal Dress, but there is this additional track called You Call, which is funky as fuck. And one thing that I have to note specifically is, man, her drummer, Ola Overby, that dude can play fucking drums. And I think you know when somebody kicks ass on drums when their kit isn't even that big. It's not 20 pieces. It's just like a small kit, and for them to manage to make the most of that, this guy does it in fucking spades. And originally I thought the track called You Call, which is gonna be released at some point, I thought it was actually gonna be released before Metal Dress because she was teasing it so much. But that appears not to be the case. We are getting Metal Dress, and we are going to be listening to it. And the last thing I have to mention is I thought I saw a post that Sofi O made on her Instagram, which was for a show date. Oh, man, so I don't know how it works in Europe. I think they put the date first, or rather the day first, and then the month, and then the year. So I was under the impression that this show was happening in November, or rather on November 12th, as opposed to December 11th. Because that would have been the case if she was here in the U.S., because you know how we do things backwards and such. But I thought the date read November 12th. So I thought, all right, if this is the debut album release show, then surely she's going to be releasing the album on the same day. But she deleted it, so I'm thinking, all right, well, maybe this thing is not going to be released on the date that we were anticipating, so maybe this album is getting delayed because of the mixing and mastering. I'm not entirely sure, but for a brief second, I thought we had a release date, which is kind of unfortunate, but it appears that we might have a delay in the works for her debut album, so that's just kind of the way things break, I guess. So all I have to discuss now, I guess, is the latest song that she just released, which again is called Metal Dress. So let's go ahead and get to it. The track is again called Metal Dress from Sofi O, Sofi space O. Type that in your digital streaming platform of choice, and let's give it a listen. This will be my second time listening to this, but I haven't listened to the polished version, so let's go ahead and give it a listen. Sofi O with her track called Metal Dress, going in. Welcome back. That was Sofi O with her track called Metal Dress. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. All right, so in the midst of listening to this track on YouTube, within the description of the video, I saw that the Orchard Enterprises was credited within the description. And I remember seeing the Orchard included in the title of the Sofi O vignette for Anti-Social Camp. So I'm not sure if Anti-Social Camp is owned by the Orchard. So I Googled the Orchard, and what I came to find out, or at least what I can find on Wikipedia, is that the Orchard is an American music and entertainment company specializing in media distribution, and specifically they are a division of Sony Music Entertainment based in New York. So that makes sense. That makes sense because Sofi O went to New York to attend this thing. So I'm not sure if they distribute Sofi O's music specifically, because within the description of the video, it says that Big Boy distributed by Jaw Group. That is the music distribution for Sofi O, meaning that her songs get distributed out via this record label. And that's the part that I don't understand about what the Orchard is. Are they like bounty hunting for Sofi O's videos to like copyright strike and make sure everything's in order and to collect royalties if people are using her song anywhere? That's the part I'm not sure about. But it does appear that her attending the antisocial camp netted some type of benefit, because she's getting some kind of label service from the Orchard, which is rather interesting. So I just learned that right now on the fly. But as far as the song itself, from what I can remember from the rough draft version mix, I remember the bass synthesizer being particularly loud, but it appears all the elements are balanced out between the choral element, the Valorenga choir, the bass synthesizer, Sofi O's vocals, the drum pattern or the drum beat machine, and the man, I wish I knew what guitar effect or what guitar pedal the guitar player is using, because it sounds super saturated and wet, and it sounds so awesome. And it's one of my favorite things about the track. And of course, the choir itself. And one of the things that I learned about this particular song from Sofi O is, in exchange for having the Valorenga Children's Choir, she had to perform with them at some point as part of the mutually beneficial relationship. So I'm sure that must have been a cool experience to not only record music with a bunch of kids to make Metal Dress, but also for her to perform with them for some type of event. That must have been a really cool experience. So that was one of the things that I learned about via our email exchange. As for any lingering thoughts I have about the track, again, I thought this track was going to be coming out after the one she's been teasing a lot, which again is called You Call. But nonetheless, I'm glad to see that Metal Dress was released nonetheless, to see what the final version sounds like. It is super awesome. A bit of a surprise to see Sofi O use a bass synthesizer as opposed to playing her own bass, but I guess it just kind of showcases her multi talents to play numerous instruments. So again, check out the live version or the recorded session that she has on her YouTube channel, Sofi O 202 Metal Dress. Type in those two keywords and it should come up as part of her YouTube channel. Super awesome. It also features one of the vocalists of Fie, her old group. So enjoy that. As far as the lyrics go, it is a depressing song about having a romantic interest, and you'd be willing to wear a metallic dress to get their attention, where you clink and clank around. And The part that's like really sad is he's like, "Oh yeah, I cook and clean, but not that I do it particularly well, but these are things that I would do for you, and you're so ice cold to me that not even wearing a metal dress will get your attention." And that is a depressing message in the song, but it's delivered in this funky beat and it's a banger. And I love the guitar effect on the guitar with like this really saturated and wet sound. It's probably like my favorite part of the track. Well, actually, that in addition to the choir, which hasn't been something that we've seen in previous Sofi O tracks, but that's pretty much it for the episode. You know what to do. Follow her on Instagram, stream her music, buy merch if there is any available. Make sure that she is supported so that she can continue to make music. And that's going to be it for the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you all next time.